I know you can't say yes or not, but your
Mhm.
world is not like, hey, let's take the proper route and let's. You have to make their life a living hell by playing some of their games against them. No.
So not so much playing their games against them. Everything that we do is reviewed by legal counsel. We work with prosecutors, love us, and we wouldn't be able to do the things that we did if the work that we put together was not admissible in court. All right, and everything that we do is admissible in court. We're open to discovery. It's a very, very above board operation. But what we do is we infiltrate their communications. And I hope there are human traffickers out there right now listening to that and wondering whether or not that person they're communicating with online is actually one of my intelligence analysts. We infiltrate their communications where they're sharing best practices. They literally will coordinate with each other to say, hey, the Super Bowl is coming to my town. I've only got 3 girls. I need other guys to come down and bring more girls so that we can service what is a market opportunity for them.
Mhm.
And that's a key differentiator in the way that we fight human trafficking is we fight it as a market. We fight it through economics, where in your business and in my other business, I'm always trying to reduce risk, right? We're always trying to mitigate it. What we do at DeliverFund is we increase market risk for the human traffickers to cut into their profit margins and make it harder for them to do business.
Yeah, but human traffickers, kind of like, obviously, you'll see where I'm going with this. Nick, only 7% of people are going to graduate from pararescue. Watch me do it. Only 1% is going to become a CIA. Watch me do it. 86%, which is only 14% of people that do what you're doing right now, their marriage ends up at a divorce. Oh, if I beat 7% and 1%, I'm going to beat 14%. That's not a problem. I got it, right? Are these guys intimidated by that? They're like, dude, you're not going to catch me. We know what we're doing. We're smarter than you. They're thinking they're going to outsmart you every single time. Because
No. And here's the
you know what I'm
misconception.
saying, right? You know what
Yeah,
I'm
no,
saying? Okay.
absolutely. But here's a
Yeah.
misconception about human trafficking, right? People will say that human trafficking is the largest growing criminal enterprise. It's just not true. Narcotics and guns, especially with all the wars going on around the world, narcotics and guns are, illegal gun running is hands down the largest illicit commodities. The next is people will say, well, you can actually make more money from, from selling human trafficking victims than you can from narcotics or guns. That is also not true because you can have a shipping container full of cocaine or AKs sitting in a port somewhere and you can leave it there for 2 years. And the drugs and the guns are worth just as much as they were when you put that container there. You can't do that with people, right? People require overhead. You have to house them, you have to feed them, you have to keep them in at least good enough condition so that customers want to spend some time with them. And that's the Achilles heel that cuts into the profit margins of human traffickers. And so most of your smart criminals, I mean, your people who would be curing cancer were they not criminals, most of them are into some type of organized crime around either narcotics or guns or ripping off banks, credit card fraud, those types of things. It's actually there are exceptions to this rule, but it's not your smartest criminals who are human traffickers. There's also a piece here. I saw in doing research that you've interviewed many members of the mob. My guess is if you go ask them what they think about human trafficking, they're going to say that's over the line. And if we found somebody doing that in our organization, they were going to end up in a box. And that's what happens with a lot of these criminal enterprises too. Is you'll have narcotics criminal enterprises who aren't going to allow their people to start harming children. So even within the criminal underworld, there's an ethic line when it comes to children that people won't cross.
Oh, there's no question about it. And they even had a code, La Cosa Nostra, they wouldn't touch drugs, although several people did, but that was part of their code as well. Um, so not the smartest criminals. Okay. So not the smartest criminals, meaning they're not trying to play the, oh, I'm going to beat the odds of 7%, 1%, 14%. So you're saying they're scared? Like if you scare them, they run away like a little cat. Are they scared criminals? Like, can you scare them away from the industry or no?
No, not
Okay.
really.
So so
Most of
so
them, this is all they know.
okay. So business model to catch them. I'm not in your world, but I'm just thinking about it. So if it's Super Bowl and these are the girls that are doing it, they're coming in and hey, customers go, they're gonna go online to get somebody, hey, I had one too many drinks. Let me call somebody. How do I find somebody? Hey, so is the business model to go to the Super Bowl and go find those sites and call 100, 200, 300, 400 of them, then you send your guys to go meet with the girls, and then you tell the girls that you're willing to help them out and interrogate them to get a feel if they are working with somebody, and then you have them come with you. You can't get all 300 of them because they're scared for their lives individuals,
Mhm.
it's the relationship with the pimp and the prostitute, and you know how that relationship, it's fear-based.
Absolutely.
Then you convince a percentage to go with you, and then you backtrack, giving them protection and safety. And then through backtracking, you find out who it is, and then you go track them down. But at that point, they know that you've taken some of their people, so they're probably on the run. Is that part of the business model? At least not yours, because you're not the one that does that. You just give intel. Is that one part of the business model that the law enforcement does, or no?
Yeah, so that's exactly what law enforcement does. Law enforcement, gets in front of the girls because you got to have a witness, right? You got to have proof. Gets in front of them and says, hey, and usually a lot of times using our intel, here's what we know about you. We know that you and that girl over there are actually all connected, and we know that you're run by this guy. We know that he's sitting in a car in the parking lot. All we need you to do is tell us that he's holding you against your will, and we got this. Or in many cases, what can happen is the human trafficker is controlling the girl, so he'll go drop her off at whatever venue, and as he's dropping her off, law enforcement swoops in and catches them together. So you do have those types of cases, but some of these are very, very insidious. We had a case in the southwestern United States where the girl was on her own. So we thought she was a human trafficking victim. We were sure she was a human trafficking victim, and our analysts are really, really good. Yet when the law enforcement wrapped her up, she was on her own. Well, after questioning her for about 20, 30 minutes, she broke down crying, and the human trafficker had her baby and was threatening to hurt her baby and had her baby in another city. And that was the handle he was using to control her.
Makes sense. What a way to hold somebody hostage. I've not asked you this before, but I'm asking you right now, and hopefully you will do this as a valuetainer. Please share this video. Text it to people, hit the thumbs up button, share it whatever way you can for other people to see it, for the algorithms to be on our favor, because this is not a message about how you make millions, how you make billions, how you become successful. It's not entertainment. This is purely something that's about education and awareness. So I'm asking you, share it with any parent that you know and say, just watch this video. Get a paper and pen out. You're going to want to pay attention to this one here. So if you like this little short clip from an interview I did, click over here to watch the entire interview. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.